is this animal called the missing marks. For the girls, sometimes the missing marks are because these students were seduced, they were told, they were sought for sexual favors, they refused. Their missing marks disappear. For the young ones, those ones who drive big cars than the lecturers, those ones who appear smartly dressed than the lecturers decide to disappear with missing marks. Have you ever been a victim, either as a student or as a guardian or parent? Those who are given the responsibility to manage universities, you are managing human beings. Those students are not furniture. Those students, their parents incur heavy expenses to educate a student to university. Any delay for those students to graduate is a loss on investment. Welcome to Trending News from Helicopter. This is an issue that affects almost everybody in this country. In this country, we have 36 public universities and 7 constituent colleges. The majority of our children, our youth, have passed through public universities. But have you ever listened to those students? We are heading to the graduation era. From August, most public universities will be conducting their graduation ceremonies all the way to December. But as a parent, as a guardian, your child or the one you are sponsoring will tell you, I have missing marks. This is a story synonymous to almost every university student. For 4 years, the students are struggling. They do their exam, but they cannot get their marks. Then there's this animal called the missing marks example. For the girls, sometimes the missing marks are because these students were seduced, they were told, they were sought for sexual favors, they refused. Their missing marks disappear. For the young ones, those ones who drive big cars than the lecturers, those ones who appear smartly dressed than the lecturers decide to disappear with missing marks. Have you ever been a victim, either as a student or as a guardian or parent? This is a harrowing experience. Your son or your daughter finishes university, stays at home for 2 years because the marks are not there. This child is told, come and do a receipt. The frame of mind of this child was that I have finished university. But now the child is your daughter or your son or the Gen Z is being told, come and redo the exam. This used to be a problem at the public universities. Helicopter, Cyrus did a research and has found out that it is now almost in any learning institution. This includes private universities. This includes those commercial private universities. It also includes religious institutions that offer higher learnings. We move from the universities. This has now gone to middle-level training colleges. The diploma colleges are facing the same problem. What is happening in this sector? Cyrus went and looked all the way to the Court of Appeal and found out that this matter has been litigated at the Court of Appeal of Kenya in Nairobi by the former president of the Court of Appeal, Justice Musinga, Justice Mumbi Ngugi, and Justice Tuyot, all of them judges of the Court of Appeal. This is in Civil Appeal number 596 of 2019, where over 21 students sued the university, that is the Technical University of Kenya. The Technical University of Kenya lost at the High Court. The judge admonished. So the Technical University felt aggrieved and went to the Court of Appeal. And what does the Court of Appeal start with? The judges are poetic. Listen to page 1, that is paragraph 1. The phenomenon of missing examination scripts is not unheard of in our public universities. Students sit exams, the scripts are collected by a lecturer for marking but are never returned to the university, nor marks submitted. What, if any, is the course of action that accrues to the students in such circumstances? This partly is the question this appeal seeks to answer. Paragraph 2. The 21 students were part of a class of 72 students who enrolled and pursued a diploma course in the School of Mechanical and Mechatronics Engineering at the Technical University of Kenya. In 2012, the school administered the core and mandatory mathematics exam, and all the student scripts were collected by the lecturer in charge of the subject, one Mr. Ndenda. In a sad twist, the lecturer neither returned the scripts nor submitted the marks to the students. 3. The university commenced administrative and disciplinary action against this lecturer, culminating in a criminal charge against him preferred in criminal case number 5509 of 2014. The university complained, the DC arrested the lecturer, charged him in a criminal court. The Senate deliberated upon the issue of the missing scripts, and a decision was made to have the 72 affected students resit the core mathematics paper in January 2015. The consequences was a delay in the students completing their course. The Senate is the highest organ that deals with all academic matters in a university. It decided, let the students do a receipt. What is the consequences of that? The students' date of graduation will be delayed. Paragraph 5. Unhappy with this state of affairs, 21 out of 72 students commenced a constitutional petition in the High Court and qualified because the argument was they were qualified to graduate on 18th December 2014, but their names had been excluded from the list of graduates for that day. That was the issue that went to the court, to the High Court. What happened? In paragraph 23, the missing scripts were collected by the lecturer in May 2012, although it is unclear when the lecturer was to return them marked. The affected students proceeded to sit for a third-year examination in May 2013 and ought to have successfully completed their programs by December 2013. At the trial, the university did not refute the respondents' contention that they either individually or though the student union followed up the missing scripts. What did the university argue? And this is what every university argues. The university argues that it needed to exhaust the possibility of retrieving the scripts from the wayward lecturer. It should have always kept its eye on the clock so that whatever action it took would not jeopardize the students' expectation to graduate on time. So the university is saying, we decided to exhaust all avenues. But the judges are saying, you should be watching the clock. Remember, these students need to graduate. That the university only had the lecturer charged after the demand letter 1.5 years after the exam was administered, is evidence of its laxity and inefficiency in dealing with the matter. The court found out that the university was exercising laxity and inefficiency. Further, it has not been demonstrated why the university did not organize for a receipt even as it pursued the lecturer. We have no doubt that the university did not act with the urgency that the matter at hand bespoke, leading to the students graduating 1 year later. The trial judge correctly apprehended the context of the grievance, and we endorse the conclusion that the university violated the students' right to fair administrative action. What did the judges do? In the end, the appeal partially succeeds to the extent that we set aside the holding that the respondent's right to dignity had been violated, and further set aside the award of damages of Kenya shillings 148,764 and substitute it with an award of damages of Kenya shillings 50,000 shillings. To each student, each party shall bear their own costs. So the judges found the university culpable and awarded the students each 50,000 shillings as compensation. What is the import of this matter? The lessons learned from this matter is that those who are given the responsibility to manage universities, you are managing human beings. Those students are not furniture. Those students, their parents incur heavy expenses to educate a student to university. Any delay for those students to graduate is a loss on investment. Parents have invested on their children. One, so that those children can become independent and run their lives. Two, those children can get into the job market and help their parents. Three, those children can also have a career path that is definite and certain. When you delay students at the university, when you fail to get lecturers, to get the students' marks, that is a violation of the constitutional rights of the children under Article 53 of the Constitution. A right to education is a fundamental human right. So those universities, those professors, those vice chancellors, those deputy vice chancellors, those deans of students at universities, you are now aware. It has now turned. The law has moved from suing the university, but than now suing the vice chancellors, the management of the university in person. This is now the law. We saw it in Gachagwa's case. We have done explainers here in the Motari case. Students now, you know, let not you be kept at the parking lot of the universities as if you are cars. For those universities that are not sensitive to the plight of students, this is a serious indictment. From Court Helicopter, we wish to stand with the students that if it is 4 years, the student must complete their course within the stipulated timelines unless they have failed. The university, we know, they hire part-time lecturers. Those part-time lecturers are not paid, and that is why they withhold the scripts of the students. That contract is between the university and the part-time lecturers. The student should not suffer because of those contractual terms that have been breached. It is now very clear And that is why we put this as a trending version of Kotelcopter, a trending version. Currently, there are more than 700,000 students in universities in this country. Approximately 469,000 are enrolled in public universities. That makes 77% of all the university students in the country. The remaining 23% attend to private institutions or private universities. This is a wake-up call to those who are managing these students. Let the students come out. Let the students move to another level of employment. Wakili Dan Senomari, we wish to thank our crew and our researcher, Cyrus, for having gone and get us this authority. Wakili Dan Senomari, it's our pleasure.